So super excited to be here from Los Angeles, connected with the SVG group back in New York, where I did a talk, and they got me more involved. So I'm glad and grateful to be here. So thank you all, and what a great turnout. So appreciate that also. First, I'd like to just frame some of what the previous morning sessions had talked about. First of all, I'm Gregg Katano. I'm owner CEO of a new company. I started a company 3 months ago called Cosmos Collab, and created a consultancy to connect storytellers, technologists with sports, themed entertainment, and various enterprise industries. So I love the fact that we're all sports people, production people. So as we already felt through the other panels, there is a common narrative that we're hearing, is that just don't be intimidated, don't be scared of AI. You know, it sounds intimidating, especially in the news cycle right now around the water cooler. You know, everyone's talking about how it's going to take our jobs, and we shouldn't be intimidated or scared, as you heard from the previous morning sessions. And I saw this definition, which I really liked. AI is used to logically interpret its environment, its surroundings, and it computes desired results for us, you know, for all of you that are looking to make things more efficient on, you know, utilitarian applications or even creative. And some of the examples that we're already seeing in live production, we have camera switching, color calibration, audio mixing. On social media, it's tracking engagement of the social media real time. It's curating content based on audience or even individuals. And it's using ad targeting with that data. And on the security front, it's allowing us to flag unauthorized rebroadcasts of, you know, certain shows, certain programming, or even a copyrighted song that we're not authorized to use. So AI can create tools that can help with our entire process of production and creative, and hopefully create efficiencies. And these wonderful panelists up here, and these esteemed panelists, they all represent companies that are creating tools that are going to help to make all of our lives easier in the production, the live production process. So excited to be able to join all of these esteemed speakers. So what I like to do is I'm going to go through and introduce them, and they're going to have a little video that's going to share what they're working on right now. So the first, I want to start with Karina. So Karina Anglada is Strategic Development Manager at Adobe. So,
hey everyone.
Hey, Karina.
Hey, super excited to be here, and I work on a team within Adobe that focuses on our video tools. So Premiere Pro, After Effects, Frame.io, and our new generative AI family of tools, Firefly. So super excited, and during the conversation, we'll get to my video, and we'll talk over it, but super excited to be here.
Perfect, thank you. Next up, we have Goyal. He's Senior Director, Live Media Production at Evertz.
Hi there, thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to this conversation. It's going to be good.
Thank you, Mo. Next up, we have Pinar Demirdag, and she is co-founder and AI Director of Cuebric.
Nice to be here. I'm an early adopter in the creative uses of generative AI. Looking forward to.
Yeah, very early. One of the we have a lot of mutual friends, and we were always talking about how you were very much on the forefront. So, and then last but not least, we have Rebecca Xu, and she's head of product marketing at Opus Clip.
Thank you. I'm Rebecca. Hi, everyone. I'm from Opus Clip. So we are an generative AI video editing tool that turns long-form videos into short videos in one click. We are probably the youngest product out of all these, but very excited to join this panel and discuss how AI can help with live production and post-production.
Fantastic. So, Karina, if we can go back to you. And so many of us in this room are familiar with the Creative Cloud products that they have. And we've been working with these tools for a very long time. And Karina, if you can maybe start and talk about Firefly, which you just mentioned, and how, well, one, you've been working with AI for quite a long time, but you're really starting to integrate Firefly into the tools that many of us have already used. Can you maybe talk about that journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a lot of creatives here are probably familiar using our tools, hopefully, every single day in your workflows. And AI has been something that's been a part of our products for years, right? As of late, speech to text and being able to caption content. And I know this session is about, transforming live production, but right, all of the assets that get created from a live event. What do you do after the event is over, right? Using AI tools to help creatives expedite that process, because we all know content and production demands are insanely high right now. And so finding ways like using speech to text, one of our new features in Premiere Pro called text-based editing, right? Which is exactly what it sounds like. You're editing based off the text and being able to, just import a clip, and then it's automatically transcribing that media, and you can start editing, right? Those are the things that we've been working towards, and I'll queue up our video here and kind of talk over it. But as it relates to Firefly, that's our generative AI tools. Some of you might be familiar with it. In Photoshop, it's gone viral. If you Google just generative fill, you'll find some really cool videos, but I'll play it here. So this is in Photoshop, some of the things that you can do with Firefly, right? Expanding images, adding a cabin to that image. But I work on our video team, so how to expand backgrounds on video, right? This is a 16:9 video, so let's say you're shooting, but you need it to be on a 32:9 screen, right? These are the things that Firefly can help in terms of transforming the content that we're working with. And it lives in Illustrator, it lives in Photoshop, it lives in a lot of tools that you guys might be familiar with, or folks that you work with are using on a daily basis. But you can imagine the possibilities in the future that's coming even more with video. So we're really, really excited about Firefly and all of the things that creatives can do to help expedite their workflows.
Fantastic. And Mo, with Evertz, Evertz been around since 1966, I believe.
Yep.
I remember when I was first getting into post-production back in the late 80s, early 90s, and Evertz was in our facility, and it was in a lot of facilities, and basically synonymous with timecode, right? But since then, or over time, you've acquired companies, and Evertz has created the entire live production process, and more recently, have integrated AI collaboration with a certain company, which I'd love for you to talk about.
Sure. Yeah, a little bit of history. Like you said, we started off with timecode. We've evolved to, with the live broadcast, or the broadcast industry, when it moved to HD and UHD and its transition to IP, adaptation of cloud for playout and things like that. So we've been trying to help the industry move forward by introducing new technologies. And really we continue to do so now in the live environment, right? The biggest thing is content creation. It's about getting more content out there, high quality content, and doing it very quickly, right? Because right now the demands of the audience is, I need to see things now, right? And I want to see it the way I want to see it. So I want to pick and choose. So that flexibility is the challenge, right? It's about changing our workflows that have proven us well for the last 40 years, doing the big productions like Super Bowls and things like that. Right. But now being able to have the flexibility to derive multiple types of content streams, right? And doing that efficiently while still creating or maintaining the creative element to it, right? So one of the things I'll just sort of highlight here is something that we've done, which is we've introduced more software components to our portfolio. We're known as a hardware company first and foremost, but we've evolved over the last probably 5 to 10 years to introducing more software side of things. And one of them was sort of introducing tools into the production side. So Dreamcatcher was our first foray of bringing IP and 4K into the replay based on a software engine. We've expanded that with our introduction of Bravo Studio, which allows us to create the tools to produce high quality content with smaller teams, less experienced teams, but still creating consistently high quality programming that you find in broadcast. And one of the tools that we added with our partners at Microsoft was, how do I add more efficiencies to the process? So with the Highlight Factory, this is Bravo Studio, that's basically a very visual interface. I can use the language that's used in the production to call out and create highlights. So for example, in this nomenclature, I'm going to have number 2 white. Show me all the 3-pointers or all the shots made by number 2 white. Simply call that out. You'll see in the bottom, the mic picks it up, and within seconds, we actually create a highlight package with all the different angles on number 2 white with all the scoring opportunities they had. I can quickly look at it, make sure it looks good, and then take it to air. So what we're doing is we're presenting in the production environment new options to enhance that storytelling.
Fantastic. Yeah, I feel that, again, already they've shown us 2 examples of how that is taking some utilitarian and creative applications that we've all been accustomed to and allowed us to have AI support us in that production to free us up on and hopefully other creative outlets. And so going down the line, Pinar. So I wanted to, before we talk about what we were planning on talking about, which is making sure that we don't lose the human spirit in AI, which you touched upon in the morning sessions. I'd like to maybe have you explain a little bit of what you had done with XR Studios, a mutual friend of ours, and describe how your process, something that was sorely needed when everyone started talking about virtual production, and how does your company Cuebric come into the integration of that production process?
Thank you. Firstly, how many of you work with or know virtual production? A large, healthy half. How many of you have watched Avengers Endgame and remember Jarvis, where Tony Stark in real time discovers time travel? Well, Cuebric, our tool, is the MS-DOS version of Jarvis. It's the first version of a tool that lets you discover the talent inside you without you needing to have the talent inside, without you needing to have the capacity to express it on your own. Our tool, Cuebric, was born inside a virtual production stage at XR Studios Hollywood. I'm in generative AI since 2018. Me and my partner, we first had the world's first generative AI production company, where we did the world's first generative AI visual effects for a feature film and commercial. So we were already very much entrenched in how can we professionally help others and ourselves self-express with generative creative AI. So our friends at XR Studios told us about how expensive this whole thing is, not only in hardware, but in the content creation part, minimum professional production, medium to high. Oh, Aaron, he's the man who helped us develop Cuebric. He was the head producer of XR Studios. How much Aaron and co. told us that a scene in a game engine would cost $150,000 to produce, to create. And we were like, why did we forget about 2.5D? We were like, who does 2.5D? Well, for example, Batman had a lot of 2.5D, but there's no one tool that streamlines the production of 2.5D, and there's a lot of calculation problem, and rotoscoping is a headache. So we're like, we can annihilate rotoscoping with AI, and we can also automatically have you do 2.5D, generate, fill, modify, and all of that. But I believe the very reason why I'm here is because the super innovation leap that this guys, who's a media server, and Cuebric did jointly together, which is, we call it plug and play 3D. You create your layers in Cuebric, our tool, you generate them, you separate them with our depth and object-based AIs. But the magic happens when you push a button in Cuebric and your 2.5D layers open as near 3D already layered in three-dimensional, ready to film. And I want to showcase it to you with this video.
Very nice. And again, last but not least, Rebecca. So I saw that Opus clip was on the short list for nominees for South by Southwest Accelerator, which congratulations on that. And what I liked about Opus clip is that you basically are creating a solution not just with the advancement on virtual production, virtual events, I should say, that after the pandemic, all of us had to adopt sort of a hybrid model of live events. Glad we're back here live, but also the virtual event side of things. And they not only created or those virtual tools to throw events were already out there, but basically Opus Clip took it a step further. They had influencers that were using their tools, but there was an inherent challenge with longer clips. And please explain, if you could, about how Opus Clip honed in on this challenge and really came up with a solution.
Yeah, of course. I believe that a lot of businesses have a lot of long-form videos sitting in the dust, sitting in silo, like not having a second life in today's world. And that's probably very largely due to the fact that a lot of these companies are not adopting short-form videos and repurposing long-form videos into short videos. I believe short videos have become the preferred way to consume content these days. It's just like the Amazon Prime of videos in general, right? It's fast, it's convenient, and it brings a lot of fun. And we do see more and more businesses are embracing this trend of turning long-form videos into short videos. But in this process, it does require a lot of expertise and time to turn long-form into short-form. And this is where we really come in. As I mentioned, we are a generative AI video company that uses AI to turn long-form videos into short videos. We have a proprietary AI curation model that finds the best moments from your long-form video and turn them into short videos. All you need to do is throw in a link, whether it's YouTube or Google Drive link, or upload your video, and we will take care of the rest for you. This is the results page that you all get. Let me show you one result. So this is the results that you all get. As you can see, rather than stopping at the point where we just find the moments, good moments for you, we will also use AI to automatically crops and reframes your video to make sure that the active speaker is always at the center. We will also add animated captions as well as B-rolls to give some visual flair to your short video. And all these are done in minutes rather than like the hours or even days that we usually take a person to create. And this has significantly helped a lot of businesses to create more short videos and grow more on social media. And one thing that I also want to point out is you can probably see the score 99. This is called AI virality score. We use AI to help you understand how likely this video is going to get viral on social media. And in general, we see a triple-digit growth in viewership after companies using our product. And speaking of sports, NFL, for instance, use our product for 4 months, and we help them gain an extra 10 million views from short videos. So this is definitely the power of how AI can advance video production. And I think that we'll touch upon this. We are not here to replace any video editor or anything. We call our product the Junior AI Assistant to help companies and businesses advance more in the social media world.
Fantastic. And, yeah, sure. Yeah, So a little personal anecdote. So I was in production for a long time, and I even had my own visual effects company, which ended up meeting its demise, sadly. And that was due to globalization, but also it was just when you have the utilitarian work, you're having to find, or I'm having to pull my highest charging visual effects artists, supervisors, to work on that utilitarian work just because it was there, needed to be done, but it wasn't efficient for the company. And I think that was a really impactful thing for my business. And since then, I've gotten into XR, VR, AR, and stayed at more of a 35,000 feet, looking at different companies that are in production. And for myself, not really doing the production myself, but I'm looking at these 4 representatives, these 4 amazing companies or representatives and their companies, and looking at the tools that they're offering nowadays. And I just think back about how that would have really helped my company at that time. And it would have really solved a lot of pain points that I was going through. So just going down the line, I mean, using the tools from the Creative Cloud, right? You got Premiere, Photoshop, Illustrator, and again, been around forever, but to see how it would be able to extract information so that it can help you with logging or closed captioning, things like that. And Mo, with Evertz, being able to generate clips automatically, and we love our edit assists, right? Editor assists out there, but there's a lot of duties that would have to be done, and it would take them a long time. It would be a heavy lift on them as well. So just your example in your video and how it's automatically generating, some of these reels. Maybe you have to adjust it here and there, but again, there's that application of where it can speed up the process, and then you got that human element that's going to be able to fine-tune it. And then Pinar, I remember, coming from visual effects, people were saying, Gregg, it's amazing. Virtual production is going to eliminate visual effects. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. No, it's not. Who's going to put those graphics into the screens that the actors are going to be performing in front of, right? And so when, heard about your company for a while now, and to think that, wow, somebody already identified that need and created a solution using AI. And then last but not least, one thing you didn't mention is that, on your platform, not only cutting down these longer clips and then knowing if it's going to go viral, or knowing, even before you put it out to your audience how well it's going to do, which is phenomenal. You also have an AI integration that allows you to switch between the talents, with the automatic cameras that are on the virtual platform, or it's going to highlight based on I think it was audio cues of what might be better suited for the audience. So, again, 4 examples of just in incredible ways how all of us in this room, maybe not me because I'm not doing production, but all of you can use these tools. And again, I think that they broke it down really well. It's not that foreign to any of you in this audience. It's just, oh yeah, it makes sense. I'm in that editing chair, and it would be great if I had that extra help, And if it's automatic, terrific, save a little on costs. A question that I thought I would address, we have about 3.5 minutes, and a question that I came up with last night that I thought would be good is that, there's a lot of us in this room, myself included, because we're all learning about AI, and yeah, is there something to be afraid of? Is there something to be intimidated of? And what I like to quickly go through with all the panelists is, what can we offer to any of you as advice to how do I make my first step into AI? What tools do I start to work on? What would make it less intimidating? Because I feel like what I pride myself on is that I want to get up on stage and try to empower everyone out there. You know, we're all here for a reason, and it's hopefully to learn. It's hopefully to empower ourselves so that we can create our own opportunities. So what I love is that, you know, these experts up on stage, you know, can talk about maybe some first steps that some of these people out in the audience might be able to find useful. That be okay?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just identifying the pain points of the daily work that you do and realizing, wait, how can this be faster? How can this be more streamlined? And for me, the way I look at it is, you know, AI is not replacing the work, it's simply changing the work and how we do it. And so, you know, for me, I think of the time that I spent as a video editor captioning and pressing spacebar and waiting for the person to say and then finish, and now having, you know, text-based editing and speech-to-text and auto-reframe and all of these tools to help me spend more time to be creative. And that's our role at Adobe. You know, we want to make sure that creatives have the time and more time to actually spend being creative and less on the tedious tasks. So that's my advice.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just take Adobe out of that and just put Evertz in, same exact. It is. It's really about finding ways to, you know, the biggest challenge for live production is getting content out there and delivering to multiple platforms to very divergent audiences. And that continues to change, right? Everyone, you know, wants it in short form, and wants it in long form, and wants it in this way, that way. So you need to be very flexible, right? You know, for some big events, you know, AI will be a little point, like we'll sort of add on. So if we do the Super Bowl, we may find ways, right? But if I'm doing smaller events, you know, corporate live events, maybe this is where those tools take on a little bit more, because, you know, maybe I want to make it more streamlined, but still create high quality content. And again, the trade-off is we want to make sure we still allow the creative people let them bring their skill sets and shine.
Pinar?
I know that the script, the rhetoric is to be afraid of AI, but with this panel, we have seen that every single human out there will be a film studio on their own. When individuals, when creatives, when the talent is afraid of AI, all I say, you're missing the elephant in the room. It's the studios that need to be afraid, because all of us are becoming a film studio on our own. And my advice, or the angle I would offer to this room, is that what will happen to us when every single one of us will have the same tools that Warner Brothers are using, I'm just using them as a name, or Disney or whatever, are using to create content. The challenge that awaits us is normalization of mediocrity. If ever AI helps us cut the same, or produce the same, or create the same, or name the same, then what will happen to us? We will reach a peak of content consumption, and we will only want to consume content that reflects the sparkle of humanity. So my advice would be to ask yourself, who am I? Know thyself, the original knowledge. Who am I? What makes me unique? So then I can shine my sparkle when I can afford every single tool that the best content producers are affording.
Fantastic. Thank you. Rebecca?
Yeah, well, first off, I think that we should be afraid, but not afraid of AI itself, but be afraid of the potential of getting left behind and be surpassed by those who adopt AI and use that for the betterment. I think that, well, build on what they said, or aside from what they said, I think there are so many amazing like influencers or experts on YouTube and social media who teaches us so much about different AI tools and how we can adopt them on our everyday work and life. I do recommend everyone to check all the amazing content out on social media and see how some AI tools can be implemented in your business. Fantastic.
Well, we're out of time, but please join me in a round of applause for these fantastic speakers and the companies that they represent. Thank you, and thank you all so much for being here.